Now, if you're like everybody else during this whole pandemic business, you bought an extra sack of groceries here and there to get you by, get you through it, and so have we. So we've always had kind of a pantry because we can put up our vegetables, to a very limited degree, but we always have had some a little bit of extra food stored away because of our garden, and we've always kept it down here in the basement. So that's where I'm at. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to expand our little pantry down here. I'll show you what it was, and then I'll show you where I'm at on the initial stages of getting this thing a little bit more user-friendly and a lot more bigger. So stick with me and I'll show you what's going on down here in the dungeon. So this was our pantry, and you can see it's pretty sad. It's just these 5-tier stands. We've got them covered with shower curtains, keep light out of it, and it's just kind of in this dark corner. It's kind of not easy to see, not very user friendly. There we just have a sheet thrown up there with a big cast iron Dutch oven as the light tries to make it where you can see it, if you can see it. But this was our pantry right here, and then over here in this void we had one more shelf, and that had all of our canning supplies. And so this is going to get redone and revamped to something a little, if not much better. So this is what I'm working with now. This is just a back corner of the basement. It's dark. I have one light you can see there, and not enough. So I'm gonna be working on that too. I'm gonna be doing this in a very economical, aka cheap way. Something that I'm planning on doing something very easy, because I'm not going to do a bunch of wiring at this point. I'd like to finish this basement at some point, but that's not going to happen anytime in the near distant future. So what I've done is I've bought some of these, some more of these 5-tier shelves. So what you can see is these two here are brand new, so I've added 2, and then we had this one already. I've already moved over here, and that has just the canning supplies. These are just empty jars and such that we use for canning. And then I have just a tote here, and then just some various tools. What I have learned is that I will be able to put these 3 and the other 3 for a total of 6 of these shelves, or shelving things, whatever they are, and that will give us lots more space. And so what I'm going to do is, let me back up and I'll show you this right here. This is temporary. So this is something that I just kind of created that is very temporary. And what this is 3/4 inch CPVC that I took and have made. Just, if you can see way up in here, this is the it's just got Dollar Tree twine running through it to help make it a little stronger, because this stuff wants to sag. It's just super cheap stuff here. So I glued it like I was going to be doing the plumbing on it. And I had the Dollar Tree twine that I got going on right there. And what I did was I put an eye bolt here and one here, and on the other side I did the same thing. And that 3/4 inch CPVC there goes into that eye bolt, and then I needed something when I tighten my twine to tie it to. So that's the other little tiny eye bolt. And again, this is just something temporary, and what this is going to turn into is going to be a gigantic shower curtain. So again, at Dollar Tree, I went and bought 3 shower curtains, and shower curtain rings, and I'm just going to put it on here and see if I can just use that to block out any kind of sunlight. We do have some windows on the opposite side, but we do have them blacked out. But just to keep any light from getting to this little pantry, I'm just going to hang some shower curtains. So they'll slide easily, I hope, and this will be kind of what is going to be the beginning stages of this project. I'm going to do this last with the shower curtains just because I'm still going to be moving all the stuff and rearranging. But you can see here where it bows. I may have to put a string, another piece of that twine to support it, but I'm guessing I might not. I don't know. That 3 shower curtains and rings all together probably weigh a quarter pound, and this should be able to hold that without any problems. And being that this is again a temporary thing, I can easily take this down. That's where we're at with that. So I've learned a couple things already on this little project. Buying these little 5-tier shelves, they're cheap. So the black ones you can see I got 2 white ones, and then I got the 4 black ones. The black ones were $28, I believe. We'll say $30 each. The white ones were more expensive, and the white ones are better quality. They go together much easier. We already had them, and then when we moved here, we've purchased the black ones. The black ones are again cheaper. They don't go together nearly as well. You got to have a rubber mallet and just beat on them. They say they'll hold 150 pounds per shelf. I'm not going to try to see if that's true. I don't trust them. But as far as canned goods and what I'm going to be putting on there, I won't get anywhere remotely near the 150 pound claim that they have. So I feel real confident on that. I will show you something that's kind of funny down here in the basement dungeon that I found when I was putting up my shower curtain. And this should be pretty entertaining here. So right here where all this plumbing I did for the laundry room, you can see this solid pipe runs several feet past what I'm working on here. But this was done earlier this year, so not that long ago. And the reason I'm revisiting that is because I just wanted to let you know when I came down here and started working on this project, and I was tying in here, I was noticing there was something strange looking up in this little space here, and I couldn't figure out what that was. So I had to get on my step stool here and climb up to see what this was, and lo and behold, if you can see that, it is a snake skin. So how a snake got up here, for one, in the basement, for two, I don't know. But it's a big one. It's a real big one. This thing, I'm going to measure it. I'm going to take it down and measure it. But you can see over here, right where I was working, let me get a shot of this. That's where the head was. That's where he came out of his skin right there and went somewhere down here in the basement. So I tell you, I would have never guessed that there would have been a snake in the house, let alone in the basement. I mean, this basement doesn't have but one entrance and one exit, so surprising, to say the least.
Well, I got Mr. Snakeskin down, and he was bigger, even bigger than I thought he was. I got them stretched out here, about as straight as I can get them. I could get a few more inches out of them, but I don't want to tear them. But yeah, this is from the tip to the head. We're looking at right at 51 inches. So guessing if he was completely stretched out, you'd be looking at maybe 54, maybe 56 inches. So over 4 feet for sure. This thing's crazy still. How'd you get down here, and where did you go? So these black shelving units, they have a valley kind of here in the front and a little valley here on the back, and so it makes it hard when you're putting like vegetables or anything. If it doesn't span this valley here, then they don't want to sit. So I'm having to get some cardboard and put here to cover up the valleys and give it just a nice level surface for the pantry items. And so I was just using something real cheap, something that I have an abundance of, and I've been collecting these for this event, and so that's what I'm using here for this. Don't judge me. But pretty much anything you got just laying around the house. Like I said, been collecting these for this project that I've been wanting to do for a while. It takes a lot of them, as you can see, and just I think I got all that I need to do the whole project. So that's where I'm at. This portion of the video is brought to you by Natural Light. Well, I got the new pantry created, at least the area. I haven't moved all the food yet, but I was going to show you the new pantry area that I created, and a few little kind of hack things that I also found at Lowe's. Didn't know they made such a thing. So let me show you what that all looks like, and I'll give you a price breakdown for the whole entire project. So here is the curtain rod that I made just out of the PVC, and I didn't actually even need to put a string for it to, you know, keep it from sagging. It sags a little, and that's just okay. It's not sagging hardly at all, or at least not really any more than it was already sagging before the 3 shower curtains. Now these are Dollar Tree shower curtains. I probably wouldn't use them actually in a shower because they are super thin and cheap, and the rings that are holding them up are also incredibly cheap. But for this project, it's perfect. So another thing I also want to show you this: all of the lights here in the basement here, there's just these porcelain single bulb. But look, I didn't know they even made this thing. It turns a single bulb into a double bulb. So just by installing this little thing right here, I now have 2 lights that are twice as bright as one, obviously. So I bought a couple of those just for the downstairs, just to add more light, so it's less dungeon light. So basically, you just slide the curtain back, and here's the pantry. So this is kind of where we left off, but I didn't have any lighting, so it was really dark. And so what I did was, it looks like I'm kind of a wire mess, but it doesn't hit me in the head or anything. I've got lights everywhere. So an old lamp that I repurposed over here in this corner has a that's like a 75 watt fluorescent bulb, and then these are just your, you know, your 60 watt equivalent bulbs here. So another little hack kind of thing is those old night lights that you find. They're rated for up to 7 watts, so you can actually put a let's see if I can turn this one off, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. If you take and put an LED in there, well, that's like a 40 watt equivalent bulb, and it's a candelabra base, and it fits into the night light. So had this already and said, hey, just another light. So So you can use these. I did find though, through trial and error, that it has to be these really old-fashioned kind that has the switch, because the light sensor ones that automatically turn on and off based on daylight to dark or what have you, they don't like that. The LED bulbs, unless I guess you could get one that's dimmable, it may work. But the ones I had, they strobe light effect, and it was awful. But if you got some of those old night lights laying around and you want to add some light anywhere, those you can put up, like I said, up to 7 watts in there, which will be equivalent to about a 40-watt bulb. So I like it. I like it a lot. I got this. I got extension cords, obviously, but I have this power outlet, this 6 power outlet here. So basically I can turn all the lights on and off with one switch, which is really helpful. And everything is about 6 inches from my head, so I got them just hanging over there. I've got them hanging on some existing plumbing. I've got this is just a one of those little teacup hooks, if they'll focus. Did the same over here, because I didn't have any more plumbing to attach to, but it's just one or teacup hook that I had already. This is kind of a better view of what I'm talking about. If you don't know what a teacup hook is, it's just one of those things right there. And then I took just a twisty tie like what's on bread and tied these together just so they can't fall off, because that's an awful lot of wire for that little teacup hook thing. But yeah, I really like it. This is basically what's in here with the 75 watt, the night light, and then the 365 watt equivalents. You're talking it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 60, about 300 watts equivalent. It's not anywhere near that in real wattage, but it's lit up. I tell you what, I'm real proud of it. It'll allow me to see when I come down here instead of like it was in just a dark corner. And so what I gotta do next is I'm going to put the other 2 of these shelving units here, and then I will arrange it so that it's a lot more user friendly. But when I'm not using it, I can just turn this light off quickly and easily with one click of a switch, and then I can come out. And for any existing light that may be down here in the basement here, from the lights just being on, that will make it such that the light just stays away from my food. You always want to make sure you want to keep your canned goods dark. So that's what I did. If you're wondering why I got the 3 different shower curtains, it's because I bought this striped one first, and then I waited like 2 or 3 weeks and realized I was going to need a couple more. And when I went back to Dollar Tree, they didn't have that. So they just had. So I wanted something dark, so I just went with black. So I got the 2 blacks and the striped one. Anywho, that's it. But hope you like this little project here. So all in all, I spent about $30 on the I went to Walmart, got the cheap extension cords, that little 6 outlet, whatever, surge protector. It's not a surge protector, but that thing. The little, those little, I'll have to show you again. I forgot to mention, when you buy these just cheap extension cords, you just buy this little adapter here. It plugs into any light socket, and then it plugs into an electrical socket, and it just adds a light. So you could plug it into here, anywhere that you have electricity, and it just adds a light. That's another one of those little hack things. These are like less than $3 a pop at Lowe's. I did pick up some at Walmart, and I don't remember how much they cost, but that little gadget right there allows you to put a light pretty much anywhere. And then you've got the I already showed you the night light little hack, and then the single bulb to a double bulb conversion little thing. So back to where it was, $30 for the cheap extension cords and the little fixtures that allow me to add light bulbs to the extension cords. I already had the lamp, obviously. The shower curtains and what have you are included in that. They're $1, obviously, from Dollar Tree. You got to buy you have to buy the shower curtain rings separately. So that right there was $6. Actually, no, it was $5 because I already had the rings that were attached to the shower curtains on the original shelving units. And then the shelving units themselves, I'd mentioned previously, they were like $30. So I would say that the whole cost of the pantry, including shelving units, is about $225, which sounds like an awful lot of money because it is. But with the price of wood being what it is, there's no way I could build 6 units, 5 shelves each, for less than that. Plus, that includes the electrical and everything. So, just building 5 units would cost me easily over that figure if I built them, to look like anything and be able to hold any kind of weight. That being said, that's the whole project right there. I'm really happy. Again, this is just a temporary type of situation. One day, I guess everybody says that, but one day I want to finish this basement, and this can come down in a matter of just seconds, and then put an actual room down here to be the pantry. But until then, I have a much bigger, nicer, more enjoyable pantry to fill up with all my garden vegetables, my canned goods, my air sealed, vacuum sealed goods, purchased goods, yada yada. Everything can fit in here very easily. I can see everything with all the lighting, and I'm pretty ecstatic. So if this gave you a good idea or any kind of inspiration, if you like any of these little hack things that I didn't know existed, maybe you did, but they're pretty cool. Give me a like. Please subscribe to our small little family that's growing here, and I'll see you when I get the pantry filled, because I still have all the food over here that was standing previously, and so I've got to move all this. So after I get all this moved over into the new pantry, I may do a pantry tour video. Those seem to be pretty popular for whatever reason, so I may do that. I don't know. Anyway, join our family, subscribe, and see you on the next adventure. Thanks.